Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Hedge work very good. Got to trade what you see, okay? So, interesting today because we have some new people, and every once in a while we get some messages from people that just don't make any sense at all. Just amazes me how people don't understand the simplicity of expect zero. Okay? So message. Somebody buys Tesla. Okay? They don't buy the 190s like we had at the beginning of the week. They buy the 200s. Okay? They buy them at 1. Okay? They buy them at 1. And then they buy shop at 20 cents. 20 cents. So one contract is 20 bucks. Okay? It's 20 bucks. They buy Google. 50 cents. One contract is 50 bucks. So you buy Tesla, okay, at $1, so it's $100. Add shop and shop, and you buy Google, and you're at $170. And Tesla goes up almost 80 cents. Okay, 80 cents. So let's say that's 80 bucks. You can sell Tesla and hold the other two. Or you hold them all and they go down. Because the market goes down 50 handles. Sam, all my trades are down. But why didn't you buy the hedge? Oh, because I have calls. I can't buy puts if I have calls. I can't buy puts if I have calls. So if they announce an asteroid is coming and has a possibility of hitting the Earth, 20% chance. We'll know more in 6 months. And you have all these positions that you bought. You bought Tesla, Netflix, Google. You have stock in them. You don't have thing. You have stock. So you have stock, and say you have 10,000 in there. Your life savings. Are you not going to buy any puts just in case the asteroid hits? Probably not, because you're going to say if the asteroid hits, the world ends anyway. But what if the world doesn't end? Just all your stocks go down, right? All your stocks go down, and you didn't make any money. I'm telling you. The reason expect zero works for all the people that are trading well, why does expect zero work? It works because if you expect zero, if you have 10,000 in your account and you put in 300, you already expect zero. You don't ever say to yourself, I can't buy a put because I have calls. I don't care if you have $50,000 in calls and you can see the market is about to break lower. Why wouldn't you buy one put? Why wouldn't you buy a hedge? Okay? I'm telling you, if anybody ever says, oh my God, my positions aren't working, who cares? You expected it to go zero. I'm telling you, I'm seriously telling you, I didn't become better till I embraced that. If you have Tesla calls and Tesla starts going lower today and it breaks 179, you don't even need to sell your calls. You can just buy puts. Isn't that interesting? Okay? But you won't do that if you didn't expect zero. Okay, now one other thing. And this is why it just aggravates the shit out of me. If you buy a position, a Tesla, and say 190s, got one other message. The 190s, they bought them at 1. They want to 3.5. Then they went to 450. 450 from 1. Well, Sam, my Tesla, is it going to come back? And I'm like, well, it closed at 170. It closed at 170. You're still profitable. Yeah, but it was 350. I didn't sell it. And now it's going to open at 1 today, maybe lower. So you're back to even. So this guy's going to be upset. You know, in reality, he deserves to be upset. Correct? 1 to 4.5. But it's a breakout. Absolutely, it's a breakout. Microsoft yesterday at 322 was a breakout. But what was our number? 322. Where'd it go? 322. Meta was a breakout on Monday, failed. But you have the debt limit. I'm telling you. The only people, nobody ever gets upset if you expect 0. You go to Vegas and you put $50 down on a blackjack hand, one blackjack hand. You see this all the time. These clowns walk by a table and with 30, 40, $50, $100, and they don't sit down. They just play one hand. Do they expect to win? Maybe. Do they expect to lose? Maybe. But here's what they do. They put down $100. They play a hand. They win. They keep standing. They double it. They win. So now they're at 200. They put down a $400 hand because they won the first 2, and then they lose. They walk away. You're not going to win every hand. Doesn't work that way. But to become great, you have to understand this. You have to understand this. Netflix yesterday, we bought Netflix 380s. They went from 60 cents to 95 cents, over 50%. Then they dropped. So the whole market dropped. But then Netflix bounced. They went back to 80 cents. You're positive. If you didn't like the trade, you get out. And you still end up making money. Have to embrace this. Okay. Next thing, the debt limit. Now, I think I understand it. Maybe I don't. You can go read my Twitter. I didn't get with 95,000 for 90,000 followers, I would have got 100 responses on this. But 90% of the people don't understand it either. If they default, if you have a credit card and you have a payment due and you can't pay it, you pay it 2 days later, 3 days later, 4 days later, 5 days later, maybe a month later, maybe 2 months later. All it is they charge you more interest. They screw up your credit and they charge you more interest. Your cost is higher. I believe that's what default means. I think that if the U.S. defaults, don't pay, the credit limit, the credit agencies are going to come in. They're going to come in and lower the U.S. ratings. So that means all the U.S. is going to get worse, right? Their interest rates are going to go higher, blah, 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 blah. That's it. You'll still get paid. Now, T-bills, I don't understand T-bills. I really thought I did, but I don't understand T-bills. I must be an absolute idiot. Because on a T-bill, the T-bill for June 1st is like 5.5%. But for March 31st is like 1.7%. So, interest. So if they don't pay the T-bill, if they don't pay it on January 1st or June 1st, you may get paid on June 4th. Maybe you get paid on June 15th. You're still going to get paid. Do people really think that they're going to go bankrupt? Or do they think all these other places are going to start selling them? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me because even if they miss the payment for 2 days, they're going to pay you. I understand it's a risk thing. But more than a risk thing, I think it's because nobody understands this. You're still going to get paid. Now, I understand if you're looking long term and all that. It's a little bit different, right? Okay, our SPXs are moving. In theory, after what happened yesterday, we probably should hit 4,100. Do we break? I don't know. Do we hold? I don't know. Do we go to 4,000 before this? Possible. They came out and said two things yesterday, and this is when we bought puts. They said, we're a long way from a deal, and we're not going to put anything on the floor because they're still trying to raise spending. Well, if the Republicans have said, we're not going to accept any bill where you're still raising spending. So let's say your wife and your kids and everybody are spending $5,000 a month. And you say, I'm not going to accept anything unless you start making cuts. So you got to spend $4,900. And nobody's giving up anything. Then how do you even starting to negotiate? That's an issue. Okay? That's an issue. And they say we're a long way away. But I think the government the Democrats don't care about a default. Because, okay, they'll pay it a week later. They'll pay it 2 weeks later. I don't know. They don't care if we pay more interest. I don't know. But if you expect zero, you don't care. You don't care. Yesterday was the biggest down day in a while. And today has the opportunity to double that. Not saying it's going to happen. Then we see. Okay? PAN-W. Very nice earnings. They've raised margins. So if you have a business and you make $1,000 in sales, and next month you do $1,000 in sale, and you're going to say, okay, for the next 3 months we're going to do $1,000 a month, so $3,000 in sales. So Wall Street says, well, you're not growing. But then you come back and say, but my margin just went from I was making, say, $20 a month, just making it up, or $200 a month on that $1,000 in sales. Now I'm going to make $300 a month. My margin went higher. In this market you're in today, name me 5 companies whose margins are going up. If Elon told you our margins are going up this quarter, the stock is at $350, possibly $400 within 5 minutes. Margins going up means you make more money by selling the same amount. Very, very rare. That's PAN-W. But you have a down market. So does PAN-W go? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it gets to 203 if a deal is struck. Probably gets to 210 if a deal is struck. But then we see. Then we see. Netflix, password sharing. Okay? Lots of news today. What did I tell you? One day wonder. You know, but then you got to trade what you see. It was going up, so we bought it. Okay. You trade what you see. But I've been telling you, the Netflix story doesn't make sense to me. Even though we played it last week, made 2 points, played it the same day again, made 2 points. The story doesn't make sense to me. They did a presentation, they never do presentations, said we got all these people, but nobody asked the question. If somebody cancels $16.99, are they getting the $5.99? I can't understand anybody that's going to say, I want to save $6 or $8. I'm going to go lower my cost at Netflix. Who the hell is doing that? I want to watch ads. I want to spend 20% of my life watching ads. The whole story doesn't make sense to me. But that doesn't mean it doesn't matter what I think. Only matters what the stock does. Today, there's an article out there that says tailwinds. They're going to get more customers because of this password sharing. I'm not so sure. So why? So here's the thing. Explain this to me, guys. You enter it if you know. If Netflix is charging $9.99, you're on the $9.99 plan and you're password sharing it with two friends. So each one of you is paying $3. $3. You're like, I can't pay 10. I'm not paying 10. I'm only paying 3. Who the hell is doing this? A hamburger's going up. Doesn't make any sense. Are they really going to cancel? Maybe. I don't know. But what I know is revenue matters. Okay? If you have any subscription service and you lose and you lower price, you need more people to keep the same amount of revenue. Now, is Netflix going to get more subscriptions because of this? Maybe. I don't know. But here's what I know is Netflix better be $365 today, up 10, or it's in a lot of trouble. And if it gives up the whole gain, the up 41 gain from Thursday, then I was initially right. Because I don't understand the whole concept. You know, this password sharing stuff. You already have a lucrative business. Why are you pissing people off? Make money a different way. There's different ways to make money inside these businesses. Okay? I mean, you can add in all kinds of food stuff, all this other stuff. When the movie's over, you don't have to make them watch things. There's ways to do this. Look, I have an idea for Tesla, or for Twitter. They can make $100 million in a month with this idea. It's borderline genius. You can't even imagine how insanely great this idea is. But Elon doesn't call me. And if he calls me, I'm going to charge him $20 million for the idea before I give it to him. Because he'll make $100 million in the first month and probably $1 billion within 2 months. That's how good this idea is. It's very simple. Very simple. So there's ways to make money. Okay? Okay, how was the rant? If you like the rant, interesting, right? And so you got Netflix news, you got SPX. Does it break? I don't know. But maybe they break it and take it to 4,000 and scare the hell out of everybody, and then tomorrow you get a real negotiation deal. Okay? Interesting, right? Interesting. Interesting. One last thing. If you buy UPST for September and it goes up 20 cents, say you buy them at 1, I'm just making up my number. You buy them at 1 and it goes up 20 cents and then it goes down 20 cents and you have 6 months left. Is it a winner or a loser? You have 6 months left. Why did you buy a 6-month option if you're going to bitch and moan the first day? Interesting, right? Interesting. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. 524. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Getting closer to the debt limit. What is the default? Are you going to get paid? Is the if a rating agency downgrades the U.S. debt, but here's what you need to watch for. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the key here. This is genius. This statement alone will make you a lot of money if you pay attention and look for it. If you have a bot, a news bot, I don't have one, but if you have one, look for this statement. If any rating agency is starting to review the U.S. status, that news alone will drop the SPX 100 points. If they say the U.S. debt, U.S. bond rating, AAA, AA, whatever, is up for review, you're down 100. If they change it, you're down 200 to 300 SPX. Now, nobody's saying they're going to do that. You're just waiting for it. If that happens. Okay? Okay, SPX. 4132, 4109. 4052. We're waiting for news on the debt limit. If they say we're close to a deal, if they say the Democrats have lowered their spending, we're gonna be at 4250, up 100. News matters. Okay? Upside 4172, 4200. Avago. Great news starting lower. If Avago goes down to about 652. Now, NVIDIA has earnings today. If NVIDIA guides down, I don't think they're going to, but they can. If they guide down for next quarter, NVIDIA will be 263, but Avago will be 252. And then Avago becomes a buy. Okay? Interesting. NVIDIA, 321, 332. If they do a split, 10% chance, 400. If the action is NVIDIA beats, they beat on revenue, they beat on earnings, and they guide up, and the stock doesn't go up, maybe it needs 2 or 3 weeks. Okay? Gotta see. Snowman has earnings too. Snowman, I think, may miss. They may miss, but they may guide up. I think they may miss, but they guide up. Yeah, 182.200 on it. PanW, 201, 201, 201. The news is great. Margins is good. Better margin is the most important thing there is. 201, 203. Let's see what happens. You should be even on it, maybe up a little bit. Zscaler, 127, 131. CrowdStrike, 150. Lam Research. This thing hits 600 and it's down 35. Wow. Would love it back to 536. Then we get a deal and then it goes way up. If we don't get a deal today, tomorrow, nothing is going to go up and hold. They're going to sell it into the weekend heavy. Okay? Just know that. Know that. Okay? Lam Research, 552, 588. 588 is a number he showed at 3 a.m. and he showed it yesterday after the close. UPST. UPST got stupid. A $25 stock was at 29. And the 35 calls, 6 points out of the money last week, 6 points out of the money were 5 cents ask, or 5 cents bid, 10 cents ask. The day before yesterday, there were 95-cent bid, $1 ask. Completely stupid. Really? UPST was going to go up 10 in one day? It wasn't going to. It's a great play for the longer run, not in one day. Don't get sucked in that. AI keeps getting to 28.50 and dropping. So if it breaks 28.50 and they come in on AI stocks, then it'll run. Meta, right back to 244. We sold 4 levels of Meta on Monday. Why? Because it always fails. Now, if they have solved the AI or the Apple problem, this stock is going to be at 300 plus on earnings. Hearing that they're doing more layoffs today, and it's down on layoffs. Usually things have been up on layoffs just this year. Hasn't been like that recently. So we'll look at the 247.50s at under $1 at open. Shop. This thing hits 64 and it's down 7, and it gets a downgrade. Just not moving. Google needs 126.60. Netflix needs 261. Snowman, earnings. The number doesn't matter. MDB. If MDB gets down to 250, we're going to look at the 300s for earnings. NOW, trying to break lower. You got 491 and 482. If 482 breaks, probably goes to 450. But that will also tell you the whole market's going to break. When? COVID. COVID again in China. If they close any port, inflation in the U.S. explodes up and the market will crater. If this is a different strain or it gets really, really bad, huge, huge, huge drop again. And then we see. When will go to 80 if they close Macau? If they close Macau for 3 to 6 months, when will go to 50? That's why it's going down. Moderna, nice pop. We have the 150s. If it gets to 145, there'll be $2. 150s, there'll be $2. You bought them at 40 cents. Do you sell them at $2? Or do you hold them if it gets to $2? And then if it goes back to 140, you say it's a losing trade. What do? Get smarter. Microsoft, the first time I've seen in 6 to 8 weeks, Microsoft going down on news of AI. This was 322. It's almost down 10. Let things go lower. Tesla needs to go positive in the first 15 minutes or it can get ugly. AutoZone, their margins are going lower. Nothing says they're going to break down. Nothing says they're going to break up. But it's very possible if 2,400 were to break, that it drops another 100. That's what we buy. Because the play, if it breaks, 3 goes to 40. If it doesn't, you lose 3. That's it. Very straightforward. Okay, that's what we know. Netflix will lose initially $1 million. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Have to learn to trade profits. Have to be demotional. Blah blah. Exactly. And interesting. If it goes from paid to ad tier, Netflix gets the money from ads to make up more for it. Possible. We don't know. I don't know what they charge the ad companies. Don't know. Okay? Everybody have a great trading day. Listen to this call over again. I'm telling you, if you are one of the guys that messaged me and didn't sell Tesla, the 190s, there's 2 of them, from 1 to 5, 4.5 or 5, listen to it 3 times, guys. Come on, I want you to do well. Get better. Everybody have a great trading day. See you in chat.